Hello there, we're going to look at how we work out the circumference of a circle. The circumference of a circle is the distance around the outside. But first of all, we're going to do a demonstration to show you what people discovered many years ago. So I've got this circle here, and I've got many of them actually, as many as you like. I'm going to put them around the circumference of the circle. So I've managed to get 22 circles. And I'm going to take blue circles and put them going from one side of the circle to the other. So as you can see, I've now used 7 circles to go across the circle. Now what I want to look at now is how many more it takes to go around the circle than it does to take to go across the circle. And to do that I can just do 22 divided by 7, which is 3 and a bit. So it takes me 3 and a bit more circles to go around the circle than it does across it. And what mathematicians discovered was that if you measure the circle around the outside and across, called the diameter, ever more accurately, then what you eventually get is this common number. So we've got a circumference and we've got a diameter. And if you measure these really accurately, then eventually you find that the circumference equals 3 and a bit times the diameter. And that 3 and a bit eventually got called pi. So pi is a number which is 3.14159. And it goes on and on and on forever without any particular repeating pattern to it. And mathematicians always discovering more and more decimal places to it by measuring the distance around a circle and across a circle more accurately and finding out how many times the diameter goes into the circumference. And that's where we get pi from. And it allows us to work out the circumference of a circle by doing this number pi times the diameter. It's always made easier if you have a calculator on hand to work out to use as pi, because if you press shift and then down here you can see you've got the value of pi. The calculator will give you the value as pi because that's the most accurate way. If you want to see a decimal version you can just press this SD button and you end up with pi to a few decimal places, but obviously there are a lot more. We're going to have a look at a couple of examples now where this first circle has a diameter of 5 centimeters and we're going to work out the circumference, the distance around the outside. So in order to do that I need to use my formula of the circumference equals this number pi times the diameter. So the circumference will equal pi times 5. So I've got pi ready, times 5, and that tells me it's 5 pi, which is 15.71 to 2 decimal places. I've rounded up because there's a 7 after the 0. The units are centimeters because it is a length, it's a distance around the edge. If you're given a circle where instead of being given the diameter, you're given the radius, so this is the distance from the center to the edge. In order to work out the circumference, you'll need to times pi by 2 lots of the radius, which is exactly the same as the diameter. And in this particular case, we'll do pi times 6 because the diameter of this circle will be 6 if we go all the way across. And pi times 6 is 18.85. If we round it to 2 decimal places. And that's how you work out the circumference of a circle. I suggest at this point you pause the video and you have a go at these ones once I've given you the relevant dimensions. So this one here is 7 centimeter radius. This one here is a 2.5 centimeter diameter, and this one here is 11.25 centimeter diameter. Have a go at these and I'll show you how to do them in a moment. So for the first one, we've got a radius of 7, so I'm going to need to times pi by the radius doubled, and that will be 43.98. For this second one, we'll do pi times the diameter, and that gives us 7.85. And finally, if we do pi times the diameter of the third circle, it gives us 35.34. And that's how you calculate the circumference.